Okay, so we have our elevation, plan and end elevation. Okay, we are told that it's a radius 45 of a cylinder, so we can draw our plan. We know that in the end view, this side here is 70 millimeters high, because it tells us that, and it also tells us that we have a 30-degree cut along here, so we can complete the full end view. Okay, and we use the end view and the plan together to help us solve our elevation. Okay, now in the elevation we already have our minor axis, because we have our lowest point and our highest point, which are going to be along the center, and we also have our major axis, so we have our most extreme left and right hand points given to us in our plan view. Okay, what we need to do to solve this, the first step, just like when we're drawing any ellipse, okay, is we need to divide up our plan into 12 equal parts. So I'm just going to do that very quickly here. And I'm going to label all the sections. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then back to 0. Okay. Alright, so I've labelled all my points 1 around to 11, and I've projected all my points up into my elevation. Okay, so I know that all the points of my ellipse at some point are going to cross all these horizontal lines, or all these vertical lines, apologies. Okay, so we know roughly where they're going to be positioned, where the points are going to be positioned. Okay, but we also need to know what elevation and points are going to be at in our elevation view, so what height from the ground up they're going to be. And the way we do that is we're going to project all the points to our end view, and we just have to be very careful here that we project the points across correctly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring one set at a time. So there's points 5 and 7. We've got points 4 and 8, so I'm projecting them over to the base of my end view. Okay, and then I'm projecting them up until they cross the cut section, or the cut surface. Okay, and where they cross it, I'm just labeling the points, so that's points 4 and 8, before I continue on with the next set. Okay, that's point 6. So points 10 and 2, project them up and label points 10 and 2 there. Get points 11 and 1, and then we have point 0 at the top. So we now, in our plan view, have the elevation for each of the points, okay, or the height of them all, okay, which is the other word for elevation, and in our elevation view we have kind of how far across the drawing they are. So all we need to do now is project our points across from our end view into our elevation, and where, say for example, the line 5, 7 crosses 5 coming up from our plan view, and we're across 7 coming up from our plan view, that gives me points 5 and 7 on my ellipse. Repeat that with 4 and 8, bring them across, where the line 4, 8 comes across and intersects the line 4 coming up, I can label it point 4, and likewise where it crosses the line 8 coming up from our plan, we can label line 8. We've already got 3 and 9. Project across 10 and 2, and just note that I'm labeling each of the sets as I go. I'm not bringing across all the lines, okay, because if I brought them all across, I've already made a little error there. If I brought them all across at the one time, it'd get way too messy and take quite a bit longer to figure out which point is which. So by bringing one line across at a time and labeling the 2 points, you're just kind of less likely to make a mistake there. Once you've got all your points, you can just start freehand drawing in your ellipse. Okay, nice and gently. Remember, we were saying try and keep it one smooth curve, so you can move around or move your page around whatever works best to get a nice neat curve. Another tip is to look at the point where you want to go. So if I'm trying to get from point 3 to 2, I'm not going to look at point 3, I'm going to look at point 2 to make sure that I'm kind of getting exactly where I want to go. You have a habit of going where you look, so look at the point that you want to connect to. Once you've got a curve that you're happy with, you can grab your H pencil and you can outline the curve with your H pencil then. Okay, but make sure that you use your 2 or 5 H pencil for all the construction work first. Alright.